Hi, welcome back. I'm Axel Fashion, and thank you for tuning in for the second episode of this mini-series of me making a Victorian garment from a design from Anne Curry. This video is going to be structured a little bit differently, only because I didn't really care for the first one and how that came out, so a lot of this is going to just be sped up footage of my working process, and I'm just going to do a voiceover on it because I don't think me rambling on in videos of me showing the garment is the best way to tell all the information. So the first couple of clips that are going to be sped through are going to be the skirt itself without all the frills and ruffles sewn onto it, and then we'll go into the 3 tiers of the box pleat ruffles. And then after that, I will do an overview recap of how the entire skirt turned out, with hopefully some footage of the fitting that I had with it. We'll see. So this first clip is just going to show, I have to look at it. So the first clip you're going to mostly see is just going to be the back. It's not pleated up, it's not gathered. I was debating on whether or not to gather or pleat this. It ended up being not a true cartridge pleat because it doesn't really show it off. It's kind of just 2 rows of gathering that happen and then pulled at the same time, so it gives extra stiffness. So enjoy that. So here I'm just giving a side view profile of the skirt without the waistband, and all that nonsense that's happening in the back is what I'm going to be figuring out. And here you can see all this fullness has to get gathered down into approximately 4 inches, I think it was, and it also has to be done in a way that where the placket that I'm showing right now has to be hidden away as much as possible, just so you don't see a weird pouch looking thing peeking out from all the gathering. And this is where the waistband was put on, but I'll be talking about that later on. But it's just on a waistband, all the gathering was done, and you'll see that in the next following clip. After I got all the gathering situated and figured out where it was going to be, I was able to get the waistband on and then take a look at the hem, because the hem needs to be set before I can figure out where the ruffles are going to be, because there's an 8-inch ruffle, a 4-inch ruffle, and then a 3-inch ruffle that make up the bottom part of the skirt, and the bottom ruffle isn't in line with the actual hem of the skirt. The skirt is hemmed up a little bit before that. Most likely I'll probably hem it up about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. So figuring out a rough hem placement will be more than enough for me to get the ruffles on, because if I have to let the hem down a little bit, I know I won't have to let it down too much because the ruffles are going to hide the hem anyway. So this is footage of me going through the waistband and the ruffle placement. So I completely lied. I was mostly just talking about the waistband and the back of the skirt and how well the gathers came out, and that even though you see the gathering stitch, well, the bottom gathering stitch, and you can see the actual gathering, it won't really matter because there is a train that will be covering the entirety of that section. So no one will ever see it, and if people do see it and they complain about it, I don't really care at this point. I really, really don't care. Anyway, this next clip will show the making process, well, part of the making process of the ruffles. It took 2 days. it took 1 day to do all the hemming of the ruffle and of each of 3 ruffles. So there were 3 together. 1 day took, hemming all of the lengths for each of them. And then the following day I was able to pleat all of them and then get them hand tacked onto the skirt. So there's footage of the pressing of each of those pleats, essentially, and then where the hemline was set, and then having the ruffles put on after the hem was set. So enjoy that. So here is me on 1 day just doing all the pleating. It was a lot of pleating, and this next little bit is just me setting the hem and figuring out lengthwise where it needs to be, and finally getting all of those pleats on there. And I'm fairly happy with it. The top pleat will have a ruffle covering it that goes horizontally rather than vertically, just to cover that raw edge, and you will see that in the next video. And this brings us to the end of the video. So yeah, that's the entirety of the skirt. It actually wasn't as long as a process as I thought it was gonna be. The longest part was pressing and hemming all of those meters of fabric. There was, I wanna say, probably 20 meters of fabric altogether that had to be hemmed, and it wasn't like it was a regular, turn up half an inch and turn up another half an inch. It was turn up very little, so turn up a 1/4 inch and turn up another 1/4 inch, press it all, sew it, and then pleat it. So that was the longest process, but it did turn out very wonderfully. I'm very happy. And it's a great start, essentially, to getting another step further to completing the garment. So the next video that I will be uploading will be the jacket and the apron. The train is part of the apron, but there's not going to be much I'm going to film on that because it's just about 4 meters or so of fabric, and it gets polonazed up, and there's a flounce on it. So you'll see that in the footage, but I'm not really going to touch base on it. The apron and the jacket are the 2 things that I really want to focus on in the next video. So that should hopefully be uploaded a few days after this, mostly because I only have about 2 weeks left of this project, and that includes making it, finishing it, and then doing the written portion and finishing up these videos. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, even though that's probably not really a thing that's gonna happen because these videos are mostly for me and my project, but hey, if you want to like and subscribe, that would be great. More importantly, please just leave a comment. Just anything. Any comment will do. That's mostly what I'm looking for. I would like people to comment on what their process would have been, how they would have done it, what they liked, what they didn't like, what they think could have been better, because I'm always looking to improve. So thanks for watching this video. Thanks for sticking to the end. Have a wonderful day. Thanks.